Sam lived alone on the edge of an old desert outpost. He liked machines more than people. Every day, he fixed broken droids, power converters, and dusty solar panels. It was quiet, just the way he liked it. But on that day, a strange delivery arrived at his door, a tall black crate. No return code, no sender, just a glowing red stamp that said, "Property of High Noble Clan, do not tamper." Sam scratched his beard, looking at the box. It was humming softly, like something inside was breathing. That was the first warning sign. The second? The box moved just a little, but enough for him to step back. "Cargo doesn't move," he muttered under his breath. "Not unless it's alive." He tapped the side, no response. Then he scanned the barcode, blank. No info in the system? That was impossible. Every crate in the galaxy had a tag. He tried to leave it outside, but something about the faint noise coming from inside. It sounded like a whimper, like a scared child trying not to cry. Sam looked around, then pulled the crate into his garage. He powered down all security cams, pulled the shutters, and knelt beside the box. With one last breath, he broke the seal. The lid hissed, opening slowly. Inside was not cargo. Inside was a girl. She looked around 13, maybe younger. Alien. Yes, but not the kind he'd seen before. Her skin was pale blue, almost glowing. Her eyes were wide, silver and scared. She had glowing markings along her arm symbols that looked like chains. She was curled up, trembling, and wearing nothing but thin cloth and a collar with blinking lights. "Please," she whispered, voice dry, "don't send me back." Sam froze. She wasn't supposed to speak. She wasn't supposed to be here. This wasn't a rescue mission, but it had just become one. "What's your name?" Sam asked gently. She blinked, confused. I don't have one," she said, looking down, "just a number." She pointed to a small tattoo on her wrist. #B7-391. Sam felt sick. Someone had shipped a living being like a package. A child. He brought her water, a blanket, and turned off the lights. She didn't move for hours, just sat in the corner, afraid to speak. Sam watched from a distance, trying to process what had happened. Who would do this? Why would a noble clan send a living girl as cargo? Was it a mistake or something worse? Later that night, as the desert wind howled outside, Sam tried to contact Central Shipping. No match, no record, no ship logs. It was like the crate never existed. That's when he noticed the blinking light on his roof scanner. A drone was circling, silent and dark. Not government, not military, private. Looking for a lost package. Sam's stomach dropped. If they knew the box was here, they'd come soon. And they wouldn't ask nicely. He ran to the garage, opened a hidden hatch in the floor, a smuggler's crawl space he'd never used. "Leary," he said, suddenly calling her that. The girl looked up. "That's your name now, okay?" Leary. It meant freedom in an old Earth tongue. She didn't smile, but she nodded slowly. He helped her down the hatch, covering her with a warm jacket. "Don't make a sound, no matter what happens." The drone buzzed closer, scanning the roof. Sam stepped outside, playing dumb, just a mechanic. He shouted to the sky. "No special deliveries here." The drone hovered, silent, then blinked red once and vanished into the clouds. But Sam knew better. They would be back, and next time they wouldn't just knock. He closed the garage, sat down beside the hatch, and listened to Leary breathing in the dark. He had no plan, no weapons, no backup. Only one thing was clear in his mind. He would not return her. No matter who came knocking, outside in the shadows of the hills, another drone watched silently. Its camera zoomed in, locking onto the serial number of the crate. Target confirmed. Recovery team en route. Asterisk. Leary stayed hidden in the crawlspace beneath the floor. Sam paced above her, listening for more drones. His fingers trembled as he held a scanner, trying to jam any signal coming from the box or her collar. He had never done anything like this before. He fixed machines, not lives, but now there was a living, breathing girl hiding under his floor, and she was afraid of going back by morning. The desert sun baked the metal walls of the outpost. Sam brought Leary food, soft bread and sweet water. She sniffed it first, unsure if it was real or poisoned. Then, slowly, she ate, her hands shaking with each bite. Sam didn't ask questions. Yet he just watched her, wondering how many more like her were out there. "Do you remember anything?" he asked gently. She sat with her knees to her chest, her silver eyes staring at the wall. "They trained me," she said quietly, "to be pretty silent, obedient." She didn't cry, but Sam could see the pain in her voice. There were others, but they disappeared one by one. She looked at the collar on her neck, blinking softly. "This means I belong to them." Sam knelt beside her, inspecting the device. Advanced tech illegal to use on sentient beings, shock circuits, control override, motion tracker, and a return beacon. Someone had expected her to run and made sure she couldn't. Sam took a breath. "If I remove this, they'll know," he warned. "They'll come faster." Leary didn't flinch. "I don't care," she whispered. "I'd rather die than go back." That night, Sam couldn't sleep. He opened an old tool chest, pulling out fine cutters, pulse breakers, and a jammer chip. He worked in silence, hands steady, face tight. He'd never removed something like this, not from a living person, but he had to try. Leary sat still as a statue as he worked. Every time the tool sparked, her body tensed, but she didn't move or scream. She had learned to endure pain. That broke Sam more than anything. Halfway through, he hit the internal alarm circuit. A red light flashed, and the collar beeped loud. Sam cursed and ripped out the last wire. The collar dropped to the floor, smoking slightly. Leary gasped and clutched her neck. Then she smiled her first real smile. "Thank you," she whispered. Voice shaking, Sam smiled back. But then, outside, the scanner lit up again. A coded message arrived on his console. "Return the cargo now, or face retrieval consequences." Sam's heart pounded. They weren't bluffing. They knew the collar was off. He looked at Leary, who had curled up on the corner mat, finally sleeping peacefully. He couldn't turn her in, not now, not ever. He started working on his old ship. Buried under years of dust, the Rust Runner was barely spaceworthy. But with some love, it might fly again. He needed to take her far away, maybe, to a free zone colony, somewhere they couldn't track her. While he worked, Leary watched him quietly. She asked about Earth, about rain, trees, and birds, things she had never seen. Sam told her stories of oceans, of kids playing in muddy fields. She listened like it was magic, eyes wide. Then one afternoon, she asked, "Why do you help me?" Sam looked up from a damaged thruster coil. "Because you're not property," he said. "You're a person. No one's ever said that to me before," she whispered. That night, they ate dinner under the stars. Leary reached out and touched his hand, not afraid anymore. Her skin was cold, but the gesture was warm. Sam didn't speak. He just let her sit close. He knew they didn't have much time. The Noble clan wouldn't stop. The next morning, Sam checked the long-range scanner. A blip appeared. One ship, coming fast. No signal ID. That meant one thing: bounty hunters. He turned to Leary. "We have to leave now, but you're home," she said. Sam shook his head. "Home is where you're safe." They packed quickly, gathering water, tools, and backup power cells. Sam armed the garage with trap-sold tech, but enough to delay intruders. He helped Leary into the ship, securing her in the passenger seat. Her silver eyes watched him with trust, but behind them, a hint of fear remained as the engines roared to life. Dust kicked up into the sky. In the distance, a dark shape streaked across the clouds. Leary gripped the seat tightly. Sam slammed the thrusters. "Hold on," he said. "We're not done yet." The rust runner rose from the ground, but just before they broke the atmosphere, a message crackled through. "You can run, human, but you can't keep what isn't yours." Sam looked at Leary. "I didn't keep her," he said under his breath. "She chose to stay." And with that, they vanished into the stars. But their story was far from over. The rust runner flew through the night sky. Old, rusty, and loud, but it flew. Leary sat near the window, wrapped in a blanket, staring out into the stars. For the first time in her life, she wasn't in a cage. No collar, no walls, no orders. She could move freely, but she didn't. Sam noticed. "You can walk around," he said gently. "Stretch your legs." She blinked, unsure. "Am I allowed?" "Yes," Sam smiled. "This ship belongs to us now." Leary stood slowly, wobbling on her feet. Her legs were weak, muscles stiff from years of stillness. She took a few steps and nearly fell. Sam caught her. "Easy," he said. "We'll take it slow." They landed on a quiet moon, hours later. No cities. No satellites, just a safe zone with thick trees and soft winds. Sam had a cabin there, hidden between the roots of tall alien trees. He helped her out of the ship. When her feet touched the grass, she froze. "It's soft," she whispered. She knelt down and touched the moss. Then she laughed. It was small and unsure, but real. Sam smiled. That laugh was worth the danger. He brought her inside, showed her the small rooms, the bed, the kitchen. He turned on the heater and let her pick clothes from a drawer. She chose a loose sweater that hung off her shoulders. It was too big, but warm. She spun slowly in the middle of the room. "I look like someone real," she said. Sam cooked real food, warm soup, and thick bread. Leary sat across from him, using a spoon like it was a precious tool. Each bite was careful, like she didn't want to break the moment. She didn't talk much, but her eyes stayed locked on Sam. Watching him with quiet curiosity after dinner, Sam sat outside, fixing a power cell. Leary joined him. Holding a flashlight, he didn't ask her to. She just wanted to help. "How old are you?" Sam asked softly. "I don't know," she answered. "They never told us anything, just trained us." Sam's jaw tightened. "How many were there?" "Dozens," she said. "Some older, some younger. They called us gifts, but not for love." Her hands trembled slightly. "They made us smile, sing, obey, but if you messed up." She touched a scar behind her ear. "They shocked you until you couldn't stand." Sam looked down, trying to stay calm. "Not anymore," he said. "You're safe here, I promise." She nodded slowly, then pointed to the sky. "What's that?" "A cloud," he said. She stared at it like it was magic. "It's floating," she whispered. "I didn't know things could float without hurting anyone." The next day, Sam started teaching her how to read simple words, how to use tools, how to tell stories, not ones she was told to memorize, but ones she could create. She wrote her first word in chalk on the cabin wall. Leary, she beamed with pride. It was hers, truly hers. Not given by her captors, not stamped on her skin, but spoken with love. They explored the forest together. She chased small animals, danced in the rain, the first time a raindrop hit her nose. She squealed and ran under the trees. Sam laughed. "It won't hurt you," he said. She stuck out her tongue, letting drops fall onto it. "It tastes like sky," she said with wonder. But peace never lasts. Sam kept checking the scanner. Each day, the signal got stronger. The bounty hunters were tracking them slowly. But surely, he had disabled the collar. But some signal must have leaked before that. One evening, Leary found a broken drone near the edge of the trees. Its eye was shattered, but the core still blinked red. She brought it to Sam. His face went pale. "They've been here," he whispered. "We need to move again." Leary grabbed his arm. "No," she said. "I'm tired of running." Sam looked into her eyes. There was strength there now, not just fear. "I want to fight back," she said. "Not with guns, but with truth." Sam nodded slowly. "I've got something they can't block," he said. He pulled out an old transmitter box. "We're going to tell the galaxy who you are, what they did, and how you escaped. They may hunt us, but they can't silence us." That night, under the stars, Leary sat in front of the transmitter. Her voice was quiet but clear. "My name is Leary," she said. "I was a gift to monsters, but one man saw me as human. He gave me food, a name, and a place to breathe." The message went live out into deep space. Sam boosted the signal through old satellites. In every dark place where children were still in chains, someone heard her voice. Someone cried, someone whispered, "She sounds like me." The message traveled faster than Sam had expected. Within hours, thousands had seen Leary's face. Her voice echoed across old communication stations, underground forums, and pirate feeds. People called her brave, some cried, others raged. But one group wasn't impressed, the ones who still called her property. Sam knew the risk. He checked the radar every hour, nothing for 2 days. Then, one morning, he saw a sharp triangle on the scanner, dark and silent. No ID, no broadcast. That meant one thing: bounty hunters. He shut down the transmitter, grabbed his gear. Leary was inside, reading a children's book Sam gave her. She looked up and saw his face. "They found us," she said. Calmly, he nodded. "They'll land soon. I won't run this time," she said, standing slowly. Sam opened the hidden hatch beneath the cabin. "Just in case," he whispered. Leary stepped down, but didn't sit like before. She crouched near the vent, eyes sharp, watching. Sam locked the door and loaded a shock-rifled tech. Not lethal, but strong enough to delay. Moments later, the ship landed. It was black, long, and sleek. 2 figures stepped out, both tall, armored, and not from any official force. One was a lizard-like alien with red armor. The other was a human, tall with a cold face and glowing visor. They moved like they had done this before many times. Sam stepped outside, hands raised, looking for someone. He asked. The human bounty hunter walked closer. "Crate B7 to 391, he said. "Return the property and we'll leave." "There's no crate here," Sam replied. "You sure?" The lizard asked, scanning the house. Sam stood still. The human raised a small scanner, pointed it at the cabin. It beeped twice. Body heat detected. The lizard moved fast. Sam blocked him with the shock rifle. "You'll have to go through." "Me?" The bounty hunter didn't wait. He struck Sam in the chest with a hard punch, sending him to the ground. The rifle flew from his hands. The lizard kicked open the cabin door. Walking in, Sam tried to get up, but the human stepped on his back, holding him down inside the crawl space. Leary heard everything. Her hands shook, but not with fear. She reached into the corner and pulled out the small flash grenade Sam taught her to use. She waited, listened. The lizard was getting closer. His boots thudded above her. Then the trapdoor creaked open. Leary didn't scream. She threw the flash grenade and slammed the door shut. A loud bang shook the cabin. Light burst across the room. The lizard screamed, falling back, blinded. Leary climbed out. Coughing through the smoke, Sam saw her run out the front door. She reached him, grabbed the rifle, and pointed it at the human. "Let him go," she said. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was firm. The human bounty hunter laughed. "You won't shoot." Leary fired. The shock blast hit him in the chest, sending him flying. Sam rolled over, gasping for air. "You okay?" she asked. "I am now." He smiled. They ran into the forest. deeper than before. Behind them, the bounty hunters recovered. They wouldn't retreat again. This time, they would finish the job. Sam led Leary through narrow paths, jumping over roots and ducking under thick branches. They reached an old outpost from the mining days, abandoned but still powered. They hid inside. Catching their breath, Leary leaned against the wall. "I'm not scared anymore," she said. "You were amazing," Sam said. "You saved me." He looked at the power terminal, still functional. He connected his portable transmitter. "I have one more message to send, but they'll find us again," Leary said. "I'm counting on it." Sam replied. This time, he didn't just send a message. He activated a beacon to nearby rebel channels, people who fought against noble clans and slavers. He sent Leary's story, pictures of the collar, scars, the bounty ship, everything. Then he included a message. She was never yours. She's free now, and we're not alone anymore. Back at the cabin, the bounty hunters returned to their ship, but something had changed. Their own system was receiving pings from across the galaxy. Messages, warnings, threats. Someone had noticed. Someone had taken Leary's side. And more were coming. Sam looked out the window. Rain started falling again. Leary stepped outside. Face tilted up, she laughed, letting the water run down her face. "This time, I choose where I go," she said. Sam nodded, and above them, another ship blinked into orbit. This one not hostile. It carried a flag Sam hadn't seen in years. A rebel insignia. Help had arrived. The rebel ship landed softly in the clearing. Its silver wings reflected the morning light. Leary watched from behind a tree, her heart beating fast. Sam stood beside her, holding her hand gently. "They're not here to take you," he said softly. "They're here to help." The ramp opened, and 3 figures stepped out, 2 alien warriors in light armor, and 1 human woman with white hair and a scar across her cheek. The woman smiled as soon as she saw them. "You must be Leary," she said kindly. "I've seen your message, child." Leary didn't move at first. Then she stepped forward slowly. The woman knelt down and opened her arms. To Sam's surprise, Leary hugged her tightly. The girl who once flinched at touch now held on like she didn't want to let go. "My name is Captain Rises," the woman said, rising to her feet. "We've been tracking the noble slave operations for years. Your story broke something." Wide open, she showed them her communicator, thousands of transmissions from people across the galaxy. Some told their own stories of being trafficked. Others asked how they could help. A movement had begun, but the danger wasn't over yet. Ress's second in command, a tall insectoid alien named Thine, looked grim. "They've sent a warship," he said. "Full noble force, not just bounty hunters. They're coming to silence this." Sam cursed under his breath. "How long do we have?" "Hours," Thine replied. "They won't ask questions." Leary looked up, her voice clear and strong. "Then we show them we're not afraid." They made camp near the rebel ship. Sam helped set up defenses, scanners, and jammers. Leary sat with Rises, talking to other rescued girls through the communicator. Every voice gave her strength. Every story reminded her she wasn't alone anymore. As the sun dipped behind the trees, Sam lit a fire in the center of camp. He reached into his bag and pulled out the broken collar. He looked at Leary, then tossed it into the flames. The plastic and metal melted with a hiss. The flames turned blue for a moment. Leary watched silently. She pulled off the sleeve of her shirt and looked at the number tattooed on her arm. "Can you remove it?" she asked. Sam shook his head. "Not without harming your skin." She took a deep breath. "Then let it stay. Let it remind me who I was, so I'll never go back." The others nodded. Sam placed a hand on her shoulder. "Your past made you strong," he said, "but your future you get to choose that." They didn't sleep that night. The sky rumbled as the noble ship entered orbit. Red lights flashed across the treetops. Sam activated the shield generator. Reese's readied team. Leary stood tall among them, wearing a simple jacket and holding a small handheld transmitter. "They're jamming all channels," Thine said. "Trying to silence us again?" Sam grinned. "Let's be louder," he gave. "Leary, a small disc. Plug this into your transmitter. It'll boost your voice across rebel frequencies." "Are you sure?" she asked. "You're the voice of this now," he said, "and you've got something to say." The noble ship descended fast, cutting through clouds like a blade. It landed with a roar, flattening trees in its path. A platform opened, and a figure stepped out, tall, armored in gold and black. His eyes scanned the camp like he was looking at insects. "Return the stolen cargo," he called out. "Now." Risa stepped forward. "There is no cargo here," she said. "There's only a free girl. And a galaxy that's watching." Leary stepped forward, trembling slightly. But her voice didn't break. "I was your number," she said, holding the transmitter. "Your property, your gift to monsters, but I am not yours anymore." Her voice echoed across satellites, piercing the nobles' jamming. Every rebel station, every hidden network, every dark channel carried her words. "My name is Leary, and I belong to no one." The noble snarled. "Silence her," he barked. Troops rushed forward, weapons raised, but the rebels didn't move. They raised shields, ready to protect her. With their lives then, something unexpected happened. From above, another ship appeared, marked with the flag of a neutral planet council. It was broadcasting her message live. The noble froze. Any violence now would be seen by billions, and he knew his time was running out. Leary looked at him one last time. "I forgive the girl who was trapped," she said, "but I will never forget, and I'll never stop speaking." The noble turned away and walked back into his ship. No apology, no words, just defeat. The engines fired and the warship lifted into the sky. Gone. Cheers broke out across the camp. Leary didn't smile. Not yet. She sat beside Sam and took a deep breath. "It's over," she whispered. "No," Sam said. "It's only the beginning." Sam never asked to be a hero. He never wanted fame or attention. He only wanted to help a scared girl in a box. But now, the whole galaxy knew his name. 3 days after the noble ship left, Sam was summoned by the Central Peace Tribunal. He was charged with interfering in noble matters, harboring illegal cargo, and tampering with interplanetary property. They called it a trial, but everyone knew it was a show, a message to others who might dare do the same. Leary insisted on coming with him. "They'll twist the truth," she said. "I have to speak." Reese's arranged for a rebel escort, and Thine hacked into the tribunal's broadcast system. "If they try to mute her," Thine said, "we'll stream it ourselves." The tribunal chamber floated above the city of Vostar, massive, cold, and silent. Sam stood in a glass circle at the center, lights shining down like prison bars. Nobles sat in rows above, their faces hidden behind gold masks. The lead speaker stood, voice deep and rehearsed. "Samuel Wraith, human mechanic. You are accused of defying noble protocols. Do you deny it?" Sam looked around the chamber. He wasn't afraid, just tired. "I don't deny helping her," he said. "I deny that she was ever yours." Gasps echoed through the chamber. One noble leaned forward. "She was a registered gift, part of the ancient agreement between clans." Sam raised his voice. "She is a child," he said, "not a gift, not property. She has scars from shock collars, numbers tattooed into her skin. You called that a gift?" The tribunal paused, uncomfortable. The crowd behind the glass began to murmur. Some nobles looked at their hands, others at their feet. But the lead speaker continued. "You broke laws. Transmitted unauthorized signals. You interfered in a legal transaction. I broke a system that should have been broken a long time ago." Sam said. Then the doors opened, and Leary stepped inside. The whole chamber fell silent. She wore a simple dress, no jewelry, no makeup, but her presence was stronger than gold. She stepped into the circle beside Sam, took his hand, and faced. "The nobles, you call me property," she said, "but I remember the cages. The pain when I disobeyed, the silence they forced on me." Her voice was steady. "But I also remember the day Sam opened that box. He didn't know me, but he gave me food, a name, a chance to breathe." She turned slowly, speaking to every noble watching. "Your laws protect buyers, not children. Your rules protect trades, not lives. I was never a gift. I was a prisoner, and you wrapped me in ribbons." Outside the tribunal, people gathered in crowds. Screens floated in the air, showing Leary's speech. On planets far away, people paused to listen. In slave camps and noble palaces, her voice broke through the silence. Sam stepped back, letting her speak. This was her trial now, not to defend, but to reveal. When she finished, the chamber stayed quiet for a long time. Then the lead speaker spoke again. "You are brave, child," he said. "But bravery does not erase crime." Sam's sentence was read aloud: exile from noble systems, ban on trade licenses, seizure of all registered property. Sam nodded quietly. He had expected worse, but before the speaker could continue, a blaster was drawn from the side of the room. The same noble who had ordered Leary's transport stood and aimed at Sam. "You ruined everything," he snarled. "You turned a pet into a problem." Time froze. The guards were too far away. The gun fired. Leary didn't think. She moved faster than fear. She threw herself between Sam and the blast. The bolt struck her shoulder, and she fell, crying out. Sam caught her. Blood ran down her arm. "No, no, no," he whispered, holding her close. Guards rushed in, tackling the noble to the floor. The crowd roared outside the chamber. On the screens, people shouted in anger. A doctor ran in, checking Leary's wound. "She live," he said. Sam exhaled, his hands trembling. The tribunal, shaken and exposed, had no choice but to act. The attacking noble was stripped of all titles on live broadcast. Charges of trafficking, child abuse, and attempted murder were filed. Reform talks began the same. Day later, in the quiet of a hospital ship, Leary opened her eyes. "You okay?" she asked, her voice weak. Sam smiled through tears. "You took a shot for me." "You took one for me first," she whispered. "So I returned the favor." The nurse walked in with news. "You're cleared to travel," she said. "And people are asking for you, all across the galaxy. They want to know what happens next." Leary looked at Sam. "I'm not just someone who escaped," she said. "I want to help others find their way out." He nodded. "Then that's what we'll do, together." They had lit a fire. Now they would carry it to every corner of the stars. Weeks passed since the trial. Leary's wound had healed, though the scar still remained a small reminder of the day she chose to stand between cruelty and the man who gave her freedom. The galaxy hadn't forgotten either. Her name had become a symbol across distant systems. People whispered it in hope. Leary, the girl who broke her chains. Sam returned to the quiet moon where it all began. The same forest, the same mossy ground, the same wind through the trees. But now, the cabin had changed. New walls, a proper roof, solar lights around the path, and two names carved above the door: Sam and Leary. She stood in the doorway that morning, watching the sunlight pour across the green. She was taller, or maybe just stronger. Her eyes no longer searched for danger in every shadow. Her laugh came quicker, easier. The girl who once whispered for help in a crate now ran barefoot through the grass. Sam sat at the porch, repairing a small transmitter. He looked up and smiled as she walked over, holding a tablet full of letters. These came today. she said. He took it, scrolling through the messages, some from children who had escaped. Some from parents looking for the lost. Some just said thank you. Every word mattered. Do you ever regret it? She asked, taking me in. Sam looked at her, the quiet around them heavy with meaning. Never, he said. You were never a mistake. You were the best thing I never expected. She sat beside him, hugging her knees. I used to think I'd never feel like a person, she whispered. But now, I wake up. And I don't feel small anymore. They sat there a while, listening to the birds. Leary suddenly jumped up. I want to show you something, she said, grabbing his hand. She led him to a tall tree with roots that wrapped like arms around. A hill at its base was a freshly carved stone. On it were words written in both Standard and Old Earth script, for the lost who became free. And the free who refused to stay silent. Sam ran his hand over the letters. You made this. Leary nodded. It's a place for others to visit, to remember, to begin. I think every child who survived should have a name written somewhere, even if the galaxy forgot them that evening. They lit a fire beside the stone. Sam cooked. While Leary prepared a new broadcast, she no longer hid her face. She spoke clearly, with courage, today. She said into the camera, I am not here to tell a sad story. I am here to share what happened after. After the pain, after the fight, there was healing. The message played across rebel networks. Even some noble systems couldn't block it anymore. Her voice crossed stars, and with each message, more children were found. More stories were heard. Sam watched her with pride. She had become more than a survivor. She had become a leader, not by power, but by heart. Later that night, as they cleaned up, Sam turned to her. You know, there's still a lot of galaxy left to explore. Yeah, she smiled. But I want to stay here. For now, he nodded. You're free to stay. She looked up at him, eyes shining. No, she said. I stay because I choose to. They didn't need papers, promises, or rules. They had trust, laughter, and peace. Sam wasn't her owner, Kay, or her rescuer anymore. He was her family. She painted the cabin. Walls with bright color symbols from her dreams. Stars she wanted to visit one day. She built a garden with her own hands. She read every book Sam gave her and started writing her own. Her favorite title was The Girl in the Box Who Opened the Stars. And one morning, as the wind carried the scent of rain and flowers, Sam found a surprise on the porch. A small metal box, hand-built, shaped like the one she was found in but with no locks. He opened it, and inside was a note for the next one. Who needs a chance like I did? Sam smiled. Eyes wet, Leary stepped behind him. Arms crossed, think we're ready to take in. Another. She asked. He looked at her. If you're ready, he said. She nodded. Then yes, because freedom once found wasn't something to keep. It was something to pass on.